Welcome back. Well, the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority has recommended that the temporary suspension on the use of the Johnson & Johnson Sisonke study be lifted. The study was halted temporarily last week after 6 women declared a rare blood clot, allegedly after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in the United States. 6.6 million people have received doses there. SAHPRA followed its American counterparts' move. It's now recommending a conditional lifting of the suspension. Dr. Boitumelo Someta Makotlela is the CEO of the South African Health Product Regulatory Authority. She joins me now. Doctor, good evening, and thank you very much indeed for your time. Why have you decided to lift the recommendation that there be a suspension? Or to put it more simply, why do you believe that the vaccine can be used now in the Sisonke study?
Thank you, Stephen, and thanks for having us. So what we've done as SAHPRA, we've looked at the data that was made available to us on the Sisonke study, and the latest set of data we received was as at the 12th of April. We had a thorough review of the data together with our expert committees on this matter, and based on the data that was made available, we're still of the view that the benefit of using this vaccine still outweighs the risk. What we've done, as you rightly mentioned, is that we've requested an amendment of the protocol to ensure more stringent monitoring. So this is a conditional lifting of the pause, pending these conditions being met by the Sisonke study team, and also that the ethics committees lift, the pause also.
So, as SAHPRA, do you have the final word on this, or does the Health Ministry have to give an okay as well? In other words, I mean, could the Sisonke study already have resumed today? Could there have been injections today? Or do you need to actually wait for the Health Minister?
No, so this is a decision of the regulator. And so we looked at the data as the regulator, and because we're the ones who authorized the study in the beginning, I mean, as a regulator, we have oversight for all studies conducted in the country. So it would be a SAHPRA decision as well as decision of the ethics committee. And these are the decisions that would then advise the minister on how to proceed.
So you have you have the authority to grant permission for the Sisonke study to continue. Does that also mean then that you have permission to allow this vaccine to be used in a second phase of the rollout? I'm not talking about, who starts the rollout. Obviously, the government does that. The health department does that. But would government still need to make a decision to use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, or do you have the power to fully authorize it? It sort of stops with you, if you see where I'm going.
Yeah, so, I mean, it really is a decision of the regulator. So with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, even for the rollout, we have authorized it under what we call conditional market authorization. I think in the last engagements with various media platforms, we spoke about what those conditions are. And one of them speaks to monitoring. So what we're going to take is also learnings from this and ensure that Janssen does update its, what we call its risk management plan. In our discussions on the Sisonke study, they were also part of those deliberations. So they are aware of the need for more stringent and more proactive monitoring and screening of the participants.
How onerous is the monitoring and the screening? And the question obviously goes, we're looking at health workers at the moment, so these are people, generally speaking, who go to a health institution every day. It's possible to track them. They're near emergency help if they need it, although I understand that I think almost none of them have. So what I'm trying to get to is, how difficult would it be to use these same conditions in a second or third phase of a vaccine rollout? Would it be impossible to do this for the entire population?
So very soon we'll be communicating, an app that we will be launching as SAHPRA for monitoring of the side effects as part of the rollout. So we'll engage, the media on that, because it is important that we communicate this to the rest of the South Africans. So there will be an app that would be available on Android as well as Apple. We also have a web-based platform for reporting of side effects, as well as a manual platform where individuals can complete manually these forms to report side effects. So we are putting in place quite a number of mechanisms. You may have seen other, regulators across the world also keeping track of this. And so even for us as a regulator, that's what we'll be doing. And we will then be keeping the public up to date in terms of some of the side effects that we are picking up as part of the rollout.
Dr. Boitumelo Semeta Makotlela, thank you very much indeed, CEO of the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority.
Let's